Your first speaker, we have three remarkable women tonight who are going to make short remarks for you. And our first one is Riham Osman, who has recently been appointed, if I have this right, Communications Coordinator of the Muslim Public Affairs Council. Where is she?
Right here.
Okay. She arrived at that position of responsibility after her earlier contributions as an MPAC Young Leader and at MPAC's Government Summit here in Washington. That's with senators and members of Congress and so on. Ms. Osman has a bachelor's degree in studies in Middle Eastern Studies from the University of Mary Washington. And while at university, she interned at the Regional Institute of Gender Diversity, Peace and Rights in Omdurman, Sudan. Please welcome Riham Osman.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and Ramadan Mubarak. Peace be upon you all. Thank you for that very kind introduction. I'm just going to keep my remarks very short, but I'm very happy to be here with y'all tonight. Actually, the last Iftar I attended the Rumi Forum was my first experience, getting in touch with the Rumi Forum, and I'm very impressed by all the work they do, and I hope to learn more about what they do and just become even more involved. And so I guess they asked me to talk about my Ramadan experience. And so I joined the Muslim Public Affairs Council only about 2 years ago. And this Ramadan has been my busiest Ramadan ever. I've been out almost every single night, experiencing the unique DC experience. And of course, my Ramadan has not been as busy as the Rumi forums. Emre mentioned that they've had about 55 iftars, which is more than Ramadan. Obviously, it's 30 days. That's pretty incredible when you think about it. And I would say that my most memorable Ramadan iftar has been the White House iftar. And that was the first time I was invited to it, and I attended, and I had the opportunity to sit at the table with President Obama. And I just want to talk a little bit about that experience. It was a really unique experience for me, of course, getting a chance to speak with the President of the United States. But he brought up something really important. He was talking about how across the board, across all faiths, that young people are being pulled away from religion. And that's not something that's unique to, one religion versus another. That's just a problem across the board. And, it just got me thinking about, how can faith communities work together to make sure that young people are not, pulling away from the church, the synagogue, or the mosque. That's something we really need to think about, that our young people cannot be, feeling like they can't relate to their faith anymore. So, it started, got me thinking about programs we could put together, institutions that, we could help to bring young people back to, the faith, whatever faith they choose to practice. And then the second point that was brought up, the president, he talked about how, he's a Christian, but he's lived in Muslim countries before. And he was able to, relate to us on the basics of our faith. He was talking about the principles of religion, being a good person, having good character. And that's something, he ended the conversation with, just talking about, at the end of the day, it goes back to being a good human being. And that's something, I left with, thinking, okay, this is really interesting. That's something I'm going to tell my kids about in the future. So, thank you.